Well, good morning and welcome to Oberwart in Austria on the opening day of competition at the second European Open in this campaign towards Rio 2016. I'm delighted to be joined by Sandra Zaghetti. Good morning, Sandra.
Good morning, Sharon.
Looking forward to today's competition?
Absolutely. I think we've got a really strong lineup.
Let's start by looking at that lineup, and we'll start with the first of the four categories that we're going to bring you today. We've got 48, 52, 57 and 63. It's a women's competition here. We've got a competition taking place in Rome. If you've tuned in here and you fancy watching the men, well then you're going to have to jump ship and click on the Rome icon. We're here in Oberwart and we're following the women. We're going to start with the under 48 kilo category and the top 4 seeds in the under 48 category. Monica Ungareanu of Romania is the number 1 seed, and I'm going to let Sandra do the other 3. Why not? who have we got?
Number 2 seed is Ebru Zain from Turkey, and it's Aku Sumayev. Number 3 is Ebru Zain, and number 4 is also from Turkey, Dilara Lokmanikan.
So we've got 3 Turkish fighters in the under 48 category to look at, and 3 of them almost inside that top 20. I think that's going to be a really interesting weight category. Natalia Kondratьева of Russia is also thrown into that mix, and I think that the winner's going to come from there. A tough first round contest between Violeta Dumitru of Romania and Xie Shi of China, so that's a tough one. Under 52 kilo category, let's go through the top 4 seeds. Here's Sandra again.
Number 1 seeded is Andreea Citu from Romania. She's currently number 2 on the world ranking. Number 2 seeded is Hashimoto Yuki from Japan. Number 3 is coming back from an injury. Jana Sandberg is ranking number 11 on the world at the moment from Finland. And number 4 seeded is Ma Yinggan from China. So
another Chinese to look out for in the top 4. Despite the fact that Andrea Kitsu is the number 1 seed here, yeah. I think she's going to have problems against Hashimoto. But I've said that before, and she's turned her over, and I think that was in the Echo Challenge, if I'm not mistaken, in Turin. Right. Andrea Kitsu came up with the win there. Right, 57 kilo category. It's all yours because this is going to be a big one.
It is a big one. We might have the rematch of the 2012 Olympic final if both number 1 and number 3 seeded, Karina Kopreru of Romania and Kairo Matsumoto of Japan, will make it to the final, which by looking at the draw I think it's more likely to happen today. Number 2 seeded is Katrin Buchman-Pignard of Canada, and number 4 is Loreda Ohai of Romania.
There are 4 really big names there. Capriori, Ohai, Buchman-Pignard and Matsumoto. I think that's going to be a really tough category, and that's without going in to some of the other names in. That's a tough one. 29 judoka in total there. Let's have a quick look at the under 63 kilo category.
22 judokas in the under 63 kilogram category. We have number 1 seeded Katrin Unterzacher of Austria. Number 2 seeded is Jung Xie-yang of China. However, we might have a home final if both Hilda Drexler and Katrin Unterzacher will make it to the final. And number 4 seeded from the USA is Hannah Martin.
In that under 63 kilo category, Sherupanova of Russia may turn out to be pretty tough. Gershak Sabina of Hungary, she's going to be tough to get through in the top half of the draw. Stephanie Tremblay has moved up to fight at 63. Could be a tough ask for her. Mine Miho of Japan is in the mix there. Katie Jemima Yates-Brown, Nina Milosevic and Busra Katapoglu coming back from a serious knee injury. So there's this is good quality judo. We've got a lot of really, really talented players here, and I think we should have a very, very good day. For those of you that have decided to join us here in Oberwart, we're going to start with the contest on mat number 2 in the under 63 kilo category. Magdalena Krasavova of Austria faces Stephanie Tremblay, the aforementioned Stephanie Tremblay. We're going to go down to mat 2, sit back and enjoy the action. quite looking forward to this.
I am. Today will be, I think, a really good day.
3
Exciting
Austrians
judo.
in there. Unterwertsacher, Drexler, and we're starting off with Krasakova.
That's right.
Marily's
Krishna.
Priesner as well.
She,
We may see her a
she
bit
was
later on, yeah.
57 before as well.
She's up against Lucy Renshall of Great Britain in a few fights' time. That will be on mat number 1, but we are concentrating on mat number 2. Right-sided, nice effort there from the Austrian. We're going to go right-sided with what looked like a nice Osodagari effort. It will take time for Tremblay to get used to the new weight. And I think one of the things that you find if you're moving up a weight is the difference in strength.
That's right.
You know, there's so much more strength to deal with that it takes a while. All right, you may be lifting more and getting stronger yourself, but that's one aspect of it. But it's the ability to deal with stronger opponents, irrespective of whether you face them, you know, in training camps and practices. In the middle, they just feel so much stronger. No score yet, just a single Shido against Tremblay at the moment. Ooh, chance for the Sumigeishi there. I thought she was looking at that for the moment. A big hip technique, and it's Tremblay who comes up with the Sutemi Waza effort, but it's not a strong one. And Krasakova manages to block that. The referee calls mate, and they're back up now. 2:40 odd left to go. Another good grip. Just needs to get the left hand on when she's got that arm around the way. She gives her some trouble. Tremblay moves nicely though. That's the other good thing when you.
That will be her advantage because
yeah.
57 is much more faster pace than 63, and I think that's what she can bring up to. She keeps drilling it, and that's her advantage here.
She managed to put in that little low right-sided Seonage effort, but kind of went right through Krasakova and really didn't threaten her. This time she goes left-sided. One way of breaking up the grip, isn't it? Put in a nice little attack there. Well, once he started rolling his hands around, that was only going to go one way, wasn't it? Because
that's right.
Had been putting in the attacks, left and right. So things have evened up now. Hang around the edge too much. You just don't want to play with the potential penalty. Try and avoid working on the edge if you can. Inside the last 2 minutes. Nice contest to start with. That was really good work. And
it was a pity though.
Well,
it wasn't.
You know, she didn't engineer that.
Yeah.
Tremblay fell into that.
Yes.
You know, the movement put her in a bad position.
She was keep turning with one-handed, and that's what cost her now.
And then Krasakova manages to get the foot down just to help Tremblay over. So it wasn't your full-blown smack.
She dived in with her grip around the waist. She just literally dived in.
And Tremblay was off balance and couldn't help herself and eventually went over. So, first round win.
Where's the replay?
Yeah. Coach loved that one, didn't he? She's turning away and is falling. She's on her heels, falling backwards, trying to avoid going over. Just a little bit of a foot in there, but nice handwork to take control. Right, coming up now, Tatiana Noskova of Russia faces Mine Miho of Japan. It's Noskova in the white judogi and Mine in blue. First look at the Japanese. Noskova will be hoping that she's not going to have to look at her for too long and would like to be on the winning side of this encounter, no doubt. That's obvious. I just thought I'd throw that in, given that I mentioned the length of time that Noskova wants to stay on the mat, as little as possible. Just noticing on Mine's record that in addition to her gold medal that she took at the Junior World Championships at under 63 kilos, she collected a second gold medal when she fought in the team competition, but in the team competition she fought at under 70. Just showing off, isn't she? You know. It's not right, is it?
That's dangerous right there now.
Chance to work on the Sangaku here if she stays up with the head, but Noskova's not having any of it. Gets to her feet and forces Mine up as well, and at that point the referee decides to call mate. 2:20 odd left to go. Not the best of efforts from Mine. Mine almost hit like a brick wall and just collapsed.
That's right.
Noskova standing up nice and strong. That was a better grip. That put Noskova under some trouble, but yeah.
I'm always amused how effortless there's some Japanese, but not some, most of them actually.
She got in trouble with the grip, didn't she? And she looked as though she was going to fight it off, but Mine just went straight back for it, and then attacking with the Diashibara that brought Noskova down for Ippon. Just caught the end, didn't we? Yeah, she gets tied up. Her hands get tied up in the grips there.
Caught it really
right
there.
She catches her behind the knee. Look where the foot is.
That's right, yeah.
So really, really high up.
She hooked on the knee from the back.
Right, coming up next, Busra Katapoglu of Turkey, who faces Karolina Talach of Poland. It's Katapoglu in the white judogi, Talach in blue. And after a long break out, nice counter, really good from Katapoglu. I was going to say, after a long time off the mat, having suffered a really almost career-ending knee injury, Katapoglu, about a year off. Checking on her record, the gap in between her last contest and when she came back, she's looking sharp. That was a nice counter there. These are the sort of matches that she needs. You know, you don't want to be you don't want to be up against people in the top 20.
That's right.
They're just that little bit sharper. So you need to have a good draw. We were talking about this morning. I spoke with Sandra Zaghetti about this morning. You want to have some contests in the middle, but not necessarily against, you know, the top players early on. But the other thing, it's a very difficult thing to get. You want to be in the middle at the European Open Plus, so European Open, Grand Prix, Grand Slam. You want to be out in the middle for those contests, those sort of tournaments. What you don't want, however, is to draw in the first round the top seeds.
Absolutely.
But if you go to those competitions, you're going to get the best fighters. You know, there is a place, obviously, for the continental cups. You know, that's a way to go. That's when you're getting up there. But at some stage, you've got to step up and fight at something like we're seeing here, European Open, you just hope that you don't draw the top seeds in the first round.
Exactly.
Katapoglu has been lucky enough to avoid the top 4 anyway.
Up to the quarterfinals.
Well, let's see who the winner of this will face. Well, it gets a little bit tougher because they then have to face Nina Milosevic, and you know she's no slouch. She's a well-prepared fighter. I don't think she's got the arm in the right place here. Katapoglu managing to fight that one off. I'm not sure if she's from Galatasaray. I'm not sure. Quite a few of the Turkish fighters are from that club.
Yes.
But, you know, it's one of the biggest clubs. But what's nice is it doesn't control all the fighters. It wasn't a bad effort, just slightly off balance, so she couldn't come up with the combination, the counter combination there. She had 2 digs at it, but
the gap was too big in between of them.
Yeah. But you see, the thinking is there. And as I was suggesting, if you've been off for a long time, you know,
you lose the regime of that thinking, and I think compared to that, she's doing quite well.
Your mind tells you to do it, but your body can't keep up.
Exactly.
You know, you're thinking, oh, I should do this. My feet should be here. Oh, almost went over with the Uchimata there. It was close.
That's right. I think on her judo, it doesn't look like she's been out for a year.
Well, she's been back for a couple of tournaments.
Getting back the confidence step by step.
Judo Austria have put up that really nice banner. I imagine that someone from the marketing team are going to come and take that down. It's just not in the right place, is it? Martin Poiger in East Austria, and he's going to spot it in a minute. Because they've completely obscured the EJU banner. Oh dear. He's had a look. He's gonna get rid of it. Half a minute left to go. Katapoglu kind of hanging on here. She's done the hard work. She just needs to avoid getting caught here. And it's the second time that there's been an Uchimata effort. And Katapoglu's managed to avoid it. Just beginning to feel the tempo of the contest here, and you'd expect that, you know, with 3 minutes and 50 gone. Just ducked her head underneath where she didn't need to. Missed the strength there with that Shiro Goshi effort. She's going to get penalised for ducking underneath. That's a second penalty, but she's done the hard work, as I say. She's got the Yuko on the board. Just needs to stay upright here. And again, quick enough to feel that effort from Talah come in and block that. It's a nice start. You know, we've already seen some useful judo in the first round. You know that it's going to get better and better.
Absolutely, when the seeded people
exactly.
start coming on the mat.
Well, a very good morning to everybody, wherever you are joining us, especially Hartmut. Good morning, Hartmut. Nice to know that you are watching and everything going well. Thanks for that. Right, what have we got coming up next then? We've got the under 57 kilo category starting, so we may be jumping around. But we're going to see for the first time this morning Emily Amaron of Switzerland. She faces Cynthia Ramming of Bahamas. And I was chatting with the young Bahamian in Sofia last week. Her dad has dedicated his life to developing judo in the Bahamas. Absolutely incredible efforts that he's put in there. I think I've mentioned it before, but every time it comes up, you know, every time I see anything connected with him, it just reminds me of how hard he's worked. And here is one of his products, his own daughter out there. She got caught there with Yuko and now caught in the Sangaku Gatami. Giving it a good effort.
Tough next contest. Facing
Bolshama Pinard will be her opponent. It's all experience for Cynthia Ramming, including the camps. And this is a good one to come to here.
Yes.
You know, the Japanese, the Chinese are here. We haven't got the Korean women this year. My drinking partners. She gets counted there. Big Haragoshi, doesn't she? Well, it's an Osoto counter, but kind of turns into an Osoto Makikomi. Goes over there. Right, coming up next on mat number 2, Liu Yang of China faces Desiree Klinger of Austria. It's Liu in the white judogi and Klinger in blue. We've got some background to Liu Yang. See if we can search out some information about the Chinese under 57. I'll tell you what, China is the strangest thing at under 57 kilo category. They just haven't been able to produce anybody at that weight. 48, 52, 63, 70, 78, plus 78. I've got no problems calling a whole host of people.
Right.
57, I'm at a dead loss. Just haven't been able to get anybody at that weight. So what's Miss Yang been up to? Silver medalist at the Grand Prix in Qingdao, bronze medalist at the Grand Prix in Abu Dhabi. You know, Qingdao has been the place that they've rolled her out, but apart from that, she hasn't had, you know, the biggest of runs. You might have a look at the head-to-heads where she may have fought but not had a result. And seen, well, they sent her to the World Championships in Chelyabinsk, where she blew out there. So, well, a blowout against Pavia. Well, it's not really.
It's not a blowout.
Yeah, it's not a blowout, is it? Yeah. And another Sangaku Gatami. It's proving popular this morning. Nice work from Liu Yang. Desiree Klinger going down to the Chinese in the first round. Yeah, I was thinking about the bronze medalist in the under 48 kilo category, Gao Feng from China. She was an Olympic bronze medalist in Athens, and then they had a go with Wu Shugan for a while. She did a bit. I think she was silver medalist at the Junior World Championship. So, you know, a reasonable start. That's 48 kilos. 52 kilos, well, they had the double Olympic champion, Xiang Dongmei. 63 kilos, they had the Olympic silver medalist. This time, it's where she may have fought, but not had a result. She lost to, well, they sent her to the World Championships. Chelyabinsk in the final. She blew out there. Xu Li. In the final, a blowout against 70 kilos. Chen Fei was 5th. It's not really. Yang Shuli was a blowout, is it? In Beijing, and then of course Tong Wen, another plus 78. So all but nobody at 57. 57 proving popular this morning. Just can't get someone at that weight. Right, Anna Borowska of Poland faces Annie Ikala of Finland. We've got Deria Tsibier of Turkey and Zhou Ying of China down on mat 1 if you want to watch that one. Tsibier also coming back from a shoulder injury, so probably worth keeping an eye on her to see how she comes through this. The first couple of competitions back for. It's always tricky if you've been injured and you're just coming back to top level competition, because there's that period of testing to see if everything's working and, you know, whether you can get your the form back as well as having to deal with the comeback from the injury. And Chibe's gone up to 57 as well, can't make 52 any longer. That happens with an injury. You're off for a year.
It's difficult.
You're going to pick up some weight,
especially if you were making weight before
exactly.
anyway, then it becomes even more difficult.
Yeah.
Can tell that from a personal experience. So the attack on the left side from Ikala. She picks up the Judo.
Winner of that one, Chu Ying of China, fighting next. Larissa Chadali of Switzerland versus Martina Loggiadice of Italy.
Penalty for Borowska as well. Got one Judo for each competitor. They're both left-handed fighters, so they're just battling for the left-sided grip. It's a left-sided drop Senage attack from Borowska.
20 minutes we've been going. And within the first 20 minutes we've seen a few ippons. In Nevaza, haven't seen anybody banged over yet, but there's some nice work on the ground, and it hasn't come from the Japanese yet. We haven't seen the Japanese, powerhouses yet until Matsumoto gets out there.
I was going to say just a matter of time.
Hashimoto, Nunira, all those, we've got all of that to come. And that's why I think this is a good competition. The Austrians may not have attracted at large numbers, but what you have got is quality fighters.
Absolutely.
You've got some real quality fighters here.
Absolutely.
When all four of the top seeds, the top four seeds are in the top 20, you've got a good competition. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this turns out. I would have liked to have seen either the Koreans or the Brazilians here, possibly the French, with in big numbers, but
I was expecting
you can't have it all. The Germans and the French are missing, to be honest. Dusseldorf is a week away, and then there's Warsaw immediately after. So there's plenty of choice. You just have to hope that the people that decide to come on your part of the circuit, are of a certain quality. And luckily enough for the Austrians, I'm not going to say there's more than enough quality, but there's enough quality here to make this a really worthwhile event.
Absolutely.
Second Bushido picked up by Borowska. We'll try and give you some updates when we have them about the competition in Rome as that gets updated. But as far as I understand, they've not started. They've started with the under 60 kilo category.
Yes,
so we're not going to go.
They've
crazy
done quite a few
yeah.
fights,
yeah.
but.
We won't really do it until we get to quarter-final or semi-final stages. You can always click on that if you want and watch that. See, look, Loggiadice up on mat number 1. She's also in the Tatishio Gatami, so another Ippon win, all in Neomaza. I think the
Ikala won that contest by a single Judo.
Turkey versus
The
Judo of France.
women are leading the way as far as the Nimaza is concerned. He's going to take something off. There you go. Who have we got now? Nazlıcan Özala of Turkey faces Amélie Guyer of France. Özala in the white judogi, Guyer in blue.
Versus Victoria Oberwart of Slovakia.
Drop serve Nagatan from Gihor, and again groundwork. Ozalas counters it by a strangle attempt.
Shimiwaza effort from the Turkish fighter.
Another
effort. Hasn't quite got it right yet, has she, Turkish girl?
She picks up the penalty point as well.
I think my next co-commentator is likely to be Sandra Diedrich. I was thinking about who would be a good pick for the future, and it's got to be Sandra Diedrich. She's got that kind of colour hair, hasn't she?
Oh yeah, we got one single criteria.
That's right. She's got the right colour hair. Okay. She came to mind because I was thinking about the ways that people can lose.
Can she get it? No.
He's defended that one again. There are various ways that people can lose. I mean, we've seen Osai Waza so far. We've seen a couple of attempted Shimiwaza from Özla. Kansetsu Waza as well. This is all on the ground. But we saw Sandra Diedrich lose in the most incredible way with the mobile phone.
I think that stays a very memorable moment for everybody.
She's probably going to kill me if she hears me make mention of it. But it was a rather unique way of ending a contest. Anyway,
Unique.
she won't do it again. And now, after all of Özla's hard work on the ground, she ended up in Osai Komi. Mind you, only briefly. She managed to escape, so she dodged that particular bullet. She's also picked up the single Shido on the board. Minute 28 left to go, and the referee just wants.
Seems to be much more active yet.
She's picked up the Shido.
She's not the one who is leading the contest at the moment. Well, at least not on the scoreboard.
Who's in the background taking pictures there? It looks like Chinese. Why would she want to be taking photographs of this pier? Is it the Chinese coming up next?
No.
For her? No.
She's a pool above.
Matsumoto faces the winner here. She's up there filming them. Could be Lien Chenling.
Oh, from Taipei, yeah, that's right.
She fancies winning not only against the Slovakian, but either beating Livzi or Georgies in the next round, and then would have to fight well. She's taking film of this pair, Özla and Guyer.
Maybe that's the. Oh no, it cannot be the reproduction because you don't have that.
She might want to take film of Matsumoto. I'd go in the warm-up area if I were her. Anyway,
just 2 penalties now for us, well. 2 Shidos, and we're under a minute.
needs to come up with a score here. Get the penalties, just come up with a score. Guia puts the attack in. Running out of a bit of steam here. Nazli-chan Ursula. Almost a Makikomi effort here. Just went below the elbow and not quite high up enough. She'd have had a little bit more purchase if she'd gone, or if she'd been able to get the arm higher up. I'm sure that's what was in her mind. Just didn't work out that way.
The timing was good, but
yeah,
as you said, her grip was a bit off where it's supposed to be. Ouchi attempt.
She really needed to bring her forward to set her up for the ouchi.
That's right, and now
Guia was flat-footed, so didn't move her. Too late now.
it is. And the third penalty for one-sided grip.
Yeah.
Winner on mat 1, Alexandra Sandikova of Russia. Fighting next, Loredana Ohai of Romania versus Tesla Kadia Acevedo of Spain.
Let's go down to mat number 1. And the reason for moving down to mat number 1 is in the under 57 kilo category. We've got the number 4 seed, Loredana Ohai of Romania, coming on to the mat now. I think she's well worth having a look at. Always a difficult competitor.
She's facing the Tia Cadilla Acevedo of Spain.
This is a bridge too far for the Spaniard. This is one of the better fighters in the weight category. Always aggressive, strong fighter. Tall and leggy for 57 kilos. Just need to drop the hips there.
She nicely managed to drive that through.
So even when it was untidy at the end, you know, she still managed to come up with a reasonable attack. It's just a matter of time before she gets in a really strong position with the grips and comes up with a telling attack. Uchimata is where I put my money. Right-sided Uchimata. Well, she had to put that effort in. The grip was there. She felt the pressure coming, threw that in, and now has to defend on the arm. Not the best position to work from there for Ohai. She doesn't need to rush it.
I think it will. It's just a matter of time and it will come on.
Yeah.
She's warming up at the moment.
Get really determined, and you know, you see, she didn't really have her hands on her. You know,
it's kind of a desperate movement.
Yeah.
She's trying to avoid the Uchimata, which she knows will come. So she's putting in extra attacks to avoid it, or to try and avoid it.
I just needs to settle. There's a left-sided Uchimata effort from Cadilla. So that's the second time she's gone over there and avoided giving up the score. It can't be. She just attacked her.
That would be. She will step up her game now.
That's not right. Ashido. I mean, the girl's been going like great guns.
Both of them, yes.
But there are two of them sitting there who've agreed with that. You know, this is a good effort from both fighters.
Absolutely.
You know. She must have drawn breath for 20 seconds. At that point, there he was with Ashido. Contest was going really
it is
well.
Quite like intense. They both attacking, so I can't see any Shido happening. The Spanish coach got overexcited.
Yeah, he was.
He scored it before the action happened.
little over a minute and a half left to go. Well, he's going to have to find a way past the difficult Spanish. She just began to shape properly there. It's the combination that she needs to be able to put together. Route 1, which is the direct Uchimata, hasn't worked. Okay, and now got to go Uchimata Ouchi. That would be a good effort.
Doesn't seem to change in the structure, and
No. And now she looked to go left-sided there for the first time. It's an untidy effort from the Spanish fighter, and now got her head down. Big hip. Change in direction, almost gets caught. Coach again excited and
it looks like Adila actually is beginning to believe that.
She's in it.
She's in it, like,
You know?
yeah, absolutely. She believes she's got something to do there, and by the looks of it, she does have so far.
Got to put a score on the board. Missed with that. Sutemi was her effort. It wasn't a bad one. Oh, I had to defend it, so it won't be a false attack. She had to defend it. She had to block it. Anyway, there's still two of them sitting there.
One Shido each now.
And then that ties things up.
Absolutely.
Just got to get past the left leg. Can't manage that. Who's sitting down there then? That pair.
Reaching the last 30 seconds of this contest.
Let's go and have a word with them.
Another Uchimata attempt from Ohai.
Now would be a good time for either fighter to score.
In the last 10 seconds.
Almost with a little Diashi Barai there, but just put her onto her knees, so no score. We're going to have the first golden score
Of the day.
of the day.
Let's
Right.
see the outcome of this golden score. Oh, there is Uchimata Ouchi again. And the Spanish scored with so Ohai started with an Uchimata Ouchi Gari combination, and then
We'll have to
The
see the replay to make sure. We're not the only ones watching the replay. Okay.
yeah, nice Kouchigari on the left side, but
Cadila Acevedo overturns the number 4 seed. Here we go. Yeah. I don't see anything wrong with that. For Yuko.
Yoshida Tsukasa of Japan.
Yeah, there was enough there, especially in golden score. You know, she puts her on her backside first of all, there,
and she pushes it
but
through.
pushes over. She doesn't stop. Continued, so that's it. Right,
So that's it.
Evelyn Schopp of Switzerland faces Yoshida Tsukasa of Japan. Now, Yoshida lost to Matsumoto in the national championships, but only by a single Yuko. So if that's any measure of how difficult an opponent Schopp has got in front of her, then, well, that's what we've got to go on. Have a look and see if we've got something on Yoshida Tsukasa.
She won a bronze medal at the Grand Slam Tokyo last year in the under 57.
Okay, so we know the kind of quality fighter that we're dealing with. She was part of that junior world championship team in Ljubljana, so came away with a gold medal there, but we don't really know just how much she did with the junior. She did take a bronze medal at the Cadet World Championships back in 2011. So we know she's got world class as a youngster, and then she was a gold medalist in the Kodokan Cup in Chiba. So nice result. Nice result there.
I think the Grand Slam bronze medal is quite impressive.
Yeah.
From last year.
Well, Eveline Schopp's giving a good account of herself here. She hasn't rolled over
She's leading at the moment.
in the
As
first
the
minute.
Japanese picks up the second penalty.
Yeah, just off the tempo a little bit here. And Schopp just managing to prove difficult. Slightly longer arms. He missed there. Kind of overcommitted to that and almost went through her opponent. Two Shidos picked up by Yoshida. She looks focused enough though, doesn't she?
Yes.
Finding that grip a little bit awkward, just under there and
Under the armpit, yes.
Yeah, under the armpit. Didn't enjoy that. Turned away. Still not happy with it.
Picks up a penalty as well from turning away of the grip.
She didn't really break her balance there. She was in and was hopping and trying to lift her, but she hadn't done any of the lifting to begin with.
That's right. You don't normally see other players going into Nevaza with the Japanese, but Chop is not. He's not afraid of that.
Good for her. It's a good show from Schopp, yeah?
Good. Now we evened up again. 2 Shido each.
You know, the good thing for Schopp here is that she stayed nice and upright.
Absolutely.
She hasn't been bent over, negative or defensive at all, and that's, made her look positive. Could quite easily, if she'd been bent over with the arms outstretched, have picked up, another passivity penalty. Just needs to step up the attacks here, I think. Doesn't want Yoshida now to look the more aggressive and go ahead just on penalties. See, she's just sticking the left leg in. She's not really threatening Schopp.
No, not at all.
With that. Yep, there you go. And it was actually when the leg came out and then the hands finished her off.
Yeah, always the case, isn't it?
Uchimata start.
They drive it through.
Ouchi finished. She just kind of stepped off that, and Yoshida had sufficient enough to bring up the score. 20 odd seconds left to go. Third penalty picked up by Yoshida for a gripping infringement. She better not pick up another. Just a little bit of pressure on the edge there. Schopp not able to get back into the area.
Seconds.
Oh, a good effort there from Schopp, and not the most impressive. Not the most impressive of starts from Yoshida. Schopp really had her on the back foot there, didn't she?
Yoshida Tsukasa of Japan. Fighting next, Hélène Resmont of France versus Sato Lilikoinen of Finland.
Well, here comes a fighter that I like to watch. Hélène Rossovot of France. She's up against Satu Lehakoinen of Finland. It's Rosovo in the white judogi, and Lehakoinen in blue. When did Rosovo win her Junior World Championship medal? It's a while ago now. Was it an All France final when she won?
Can't quite remember.
That was the European Under-20 Championships. But the one back, beg your pardon. Fingers are too big there. The Junior World Championships, it was Agadir. I'm sure it was an All-France final. She fought her teammate. And then the teammate gave up.
Yes, you're right. It was Rachel Plus.
Rachel Plas, the harmonica player. That's right. She went off to become this rock star in a rock band. Yeah, top draw. That was a really, really good. Well, she was a good fighter, but she was a quality harmonica player as well. Rachel Plas. I wonder what she's doing now. She's a really good competitor. Lost out to Helene Rosovo. And Gigi Gatami here, having your top out. You don't want to be messing around with that. When it's out, get ready to tap. Rosovo looking workmanlike in that demolition. I shall ask her what's happened to her former teammate, Rachel Plas. Come back to you and let you know.
Next contest is Manja Kropf of Slovenia facing Anna Rigetti of Italy. It's still the under 57 kilogram category.
Going along nicely here.
Yeah, that's the last one before we move into the under 52s.
Judo is one of those really civilized sports. It allows for a break from time to time. You don't have to stay and watch all the action. You can wander off and get yourself a coffee or, you know, something else. You go to a football match, it's not something you wander away from, is it? You know, you just wait for that mad rush for the half time when you race to get your whatever it is that you get in the 15-minute break. Whereas judo is a longer process. See what some people wandering off to get some pastries or one of those Würstchens that they've got outside. Sausage with a bread roll and some mustard. Sounds all right for 11s, doesn't it? Look, 10 to 11.
Yeah, it's
just about the right time. Cricket's even worse. They stop the whole process for tea, don't they? You know. Americans can't believe that they actually have a sport where you stop for lunch. Oh well, it's a European thing.
Croft picked up the Judo.
A little under 3 minutes left to go.
The second penalty.
Second penalty. Ivana Moranic has come to chat to one of our EJU staff about something. Be her turn to fight tomorrow. Probably see her wandering off in the corner of your shot on the left-hand side. The camera goes that far over. There she goes, just ducking under the security barrier. How come she can do that and they stopped us this morning? It's not right, isn't it? They use that phrase that they used on the airline the other day. Don't you know who I am? It was that the Hilton air, wasn't it? Don't you know who I am? Yeah, that's why we're kicking you off the flight, pal. A little over 2 minutes left to go. 2 penalties picked up by Manyakov, and Rigetti sitting nicely here, despite the fact that there's no score as yet. I actually don't like to say that someone's leading when they haven't scored. I don't even mention it. You know, don't mention it. They haven't scored. They're not really leading. We just deal with the Shidos at the end.
That's right.
But for the time being, there is no score. Single Yuko. Well, that scoreboard would look a lot different, won't it? The 2 Yukos will then disappear into oblivion, as Rigetti then would have to really pull out all the stops. At the moment, all she's got to do is avoid getting thrown. Such a temptation, and you start looking at the scoreboard and thinking, hey, you know, if I can just hang on. Whereas in the beginning, you're not thinking about hanging on. You're thinking positive and thinking about throwing your opponent. And it's that balance in trying to make sure that the fighter doesn't stop that kind of thinking, that the fighter just continues to look for a positive score and not to protect the 3 Shidos. It's hard though, you know, you see the scoreboard ticking away, the 3 Shidos, you think, come on, just need to hang on.
Versus Suzuki of USA.
Walking past in the background, little Anne Suzuki of the United States of America is making her way down to mat number 2. She faces Sumia Akos of Turkey. What a little battler Akos is. And
That's down to 48 kilogram.
yeah,
already.
48 kilo category. And poor old Anne Suzuki, one of the nicest little fighters you can ever hope to meet. He's in a real battle with the combative Sumia Akos. That's down on mat number 2, and there you probably heard the thud as Akos became the first of the fighters this morning to flatten their opponent for Ippon. I'll go and
That will be the fastest.
console Miss Suzuki momentarily, and I'll leave you with Sandra Zaghetti. I'll be back.
That's the end of the contest on mat number 1. It's Anna Rigetti who takes the lead to the next round.
Well, number 2 was Sumia Akos of Turkey, flying now for Shidan Mohon of
Next contest on mat number 1. Now we're moving down to the under 52 kilogram category, where we have Karolina Pienkowska of Poland facing Laura Hotinger of France.
Karolina Pienkowska of Poland versus Laura Hotinger of France.
That was an attempt from Pienkowska, trying to get on with the Sangaku. Flying Jujigatama. It's rare to see that from a female competitor. It's become more popular in a male, but it's the first time I've seen it from a female competitor. She couldn't quite get it there to work. Now Hotinger is working on taking the arm. Jujigatama on Pienkowska. She managed to defend it. There's the replay of the flying juji. Sutami Vaza attempt from Bienskova again. On mat number 2, holding as teammate Melanie Clement just scored a Nippon. The under 48 kilogram category. And here we got the second penalty from the Polish competitor. Under 2 minutes now. Hołtingen secured both, pinned down both sleeves of Bienkowska. Tried an attack on the right side with the drop saw there. She picks up the penalty point now. The home crowd is cheering for Mara Traber-Kraft on mat number 2. As she's up against Ebru Zahin of Turkey. Here we are under a minute now. We still have 2 Shido versus 1 Shido. Uchimata Kouchigari combination on the left side. Last 10 seconds to go. It's difficult to put in an extra penalty on your opponent, especially with Hołtinger being dominated with a grip. And that's the end of this contest. So it's Laura Hołtinger who's going through to the next round. And she will have a top fight as she will face Andreea Cicu of Romania, last year's silver medalist from the World Championships in Chelyabinsk. The next contest, still the under 52 kilogram category, is Laura Bayov of Spain and Nicole Herbst of Austria. So the home crowd can cheer for both mats now.
Winner of mat 2, Ebru of Turkey.
Good attack on the left side with the maki coming from Herbst.
Ivan Konieczny of Poland versus Toprekka of Hungary.
First they given a Yuko for it, but now they decided that wasn't quite enough rotation for the Yuko. So still no score. I was trying to work in Navasa now. I've just picked up the first penalty point of this contest. You can hear the home crowd shouting Aufgeht, Nico Aufgeht, that means go on in the local language. Bayo is dominating with the top left-handed grip, which makes it difficult for Herbst to attack. Again. The minute Bayo throws the left hand on, Herbst drops down, that isn't going to help her in the long run. She might pick up a second penalty point soon. There he is. So it's 2 Shidos for Herbst. She needs to try and block that left arm, the top left arm coming through from Bayo. There he is again. Finds it really difficult to cope with it. Good switch from trying on the left-sided. There it is. You could see it's going to score when she turned from left side. She switched to the right side for another flying juji, and she managed to get the juji Gatame on properly. There's the replay. First she turned for left-sided Mohikon, which we can't see there, but then she switched to the right side to finish it off for a juji Gatame. So that's Laura Bayo is going through to the next round. We got Agata Parent of Poland facing Heliger Bernadette of Hungary. It's the next contest in mat number 1. We got double Polish-Hungarian contest. On mat number 2 we also have Eva Konicny of Poland facing Pupreka of Hungary. Agata used to be an under 57 kilogram player. She moved down now to under 52s. Strong groundwork from Parent. And on the other mat, Pupreka is leading the contest as Königs picked up 3 she does by now. Kelliger is looking for a top right-handed grip. Apparent was blocking her right arm, so now she's switching to the left, trying to score with the Makukomi on the left side, but her grip was a bit loosened up there. And that was a work from Polish competitor now. She really tries to score in the Waza, didn't she? And she might just about to do it, but Kellinger defended it.
Versus Magdalena of Austria.
Yang Chun-xie of China is just taking to mat number 2. She faces Magdalena Krasakova. That's the second round in the under 63 kilo category.
Oh, welcome back, Shadon.
Minhei Mio will be on soon against Andrea Dakovic of Croatia. We'll follow that with Hilda Drexler and Katie Jemima Yates-Brown. That's the action down on mat number 2. Sorry. Yeah, they just begin to...
Now things getting interesting now.
Hey, they were pretty good in the first round. You know, I'm perfectly happy with what I saw in round 1 and the quality of the competition that you should expect to see at a European Open. I've got absolutely no problem with the way things panned out in round 1. That was good. Now we're already seeing on paper, anyway, the matchups that will or that should result in some quality matches. I don't know if there's a replay on that last action. I don't know if the chief has managed to capture that. Possible score. They decided not to give one anyway, but there was some debate about it. But it came to naught. And I did have a chat with Helene Rosovo, and she said that Rachel Plas had indeed completely given up judo and was now rock star. Oh, that's nice. Good effort. Violeta Dumitru of Romania is up next against Xie Shi of China, and then we've got Dilara Lochmanahim of Turkey. She faces Dain Cordero Jimenez of Spain. Those are the contests coming up.
The replay of the Ouchi-Gabriel attempt and
yeah,
from Kellinger and the counter.
The only score that could have been would have been the Polish with the counter, but she went onto her front. Good decision, good call from the table officials, from the contest judges. A good call from the contest judges, because one of the refereeing commissioners did get up to have a look at it. But then as soon as he saw it, said, yeah, good call.
That's so good. Well, we got to the end of this contest now. So it will be Agata Perens who's going through to the next run, and she will face Narek Petra of Slovenia. And that's it from the under 52 for now.
Kelliger Bernadette was the winner there then, going through to the next round, yeah? Oh, no, she went out, beg your pardon, she lost.
It's Agata Perens.
Yeah, Perink is a useful little competitor at 52. She's not bad.
She's also coming back from an injury, actually.
Right, let's see who
Still
we've
the
got coming up now.
first round of the under 48 kilogram category. Violeta Dimitru of Romania and Shi of
Yeah,
China.
That's a
Is that how you
difficult
pronounce
one.
it?
Xie,
Yeah.
shi, shi.
Right. Need to take up some Chinese course, I suppose.
Well, the only reason I know is because I had to go and ask her, because to me that looks like she, you know. But then you know it can't be, because they have different sounds. So what those sounds are, well, the only way I could find out was by asking. And that IE sound is xie, and then shi. So that's how it is.
Right.
I'll take my money for Chinese lessons at the end from you.
Don't forget to send your invoice in for that.
Just to remind you that we've got more judo taking place today. That's in Rome. We've got the men over on that side. We'll bring you up to date on some of those results when they get a little bit further on. There is another broadcast that you can tune into if you so wish. But people who are really clever can look at more than one screen. You know how to do that, don't you? You know, open up a couple of screens in your browsers. It's a bit tricky on normal television, isn't it? If you want to watch two channels at once, whereas on your laptop you can watch as many as you like. Just make the screen smaller and you fit them in. And I know people do watch more than one. Anyway, we're underway with Dimitri in the white judogi, Xie in blue.
Left-sided coach Igari scores a Yuko with it, the Chinese competitor. There's Wazari and Yuko on the scoreboard for Team Shishi. They might overturn the Yuko for Wazari. No, that stays a Yuko. Halfway through the contest now. Dimitri is pressuring with a right-sided grip. Left-sided drop sail attempt from Shishi. Second penalty for Dimitri. Reaching the last minute of this contest now. And still the Wazari and Yuko on the scoreboard for Shishi. Another left-sided drop scenario. This time she managed to score a Yuko with it. referee seems to be trying on a triangle.
Doctor.
Here's the replay of the Vasari, also from a drop Senaga on the left side. And I'm gonna go down to mat number 2 now, because we have number 3 seeded, sorry, Hilda Drexler facing Jamiba Yates Brown. We'll switch to mat number 2.
Im weißen Judo-Anzug aus Österreich, Hilde Drexler. Im blauen Judo-Anzug aus Großbritannien, Katie.
So here we got invite, we got Hilda Drexler of Austria, and in blue we got the junior world bronze medalist from last year's junior worlds, which is Jemima Yates Brown of Great Britain.
It's a tough fight for both fighters. Hilda Drexler is one of the most experienced on the international circuit. Katie Jemima Yates Brown is one of the most difficult youngsters to fight. So it's an interesting conundrum, isn't it?
Absolutely, it's awkward to fight with Jemima.
Good matchup, this.
Yeah.
Can't quite get the turn. Drexler was looking for the Udigarami for a moment.
But
Yates Brown tight now in defence in the upper parts of the body.
It's
and
really
a strong
difficult to armlock her, apparently.
She's got the leg trapped, so
she's really flexible on the ground.
just really flexible. Always, you know.
Oh yeah, true.
In her efforts to throw as well.
That's right.
Tachi was a very difficult. Oh, missed out there.
We almost repeated the actions from the junior world. Just looking into doing a Sangaku there.
Going to try and hold on to the bare leg now. There's no trouser to grab hold of. Ooh.
Oh.
Winner number 1, Xie Shixi of China. Fighting next,
Judo for Drexler.
versus Daniela
As we reached halfway through of this contest.
Drexler and Yates Brown are battling it out, and Sandra Zaghetti's going to keep a close eye on this one. I'm going to look at the adjoining mat. Dilara Lochmanahim of Turkey faces Dayin Codera Jimenez of Spain. I'll have a look at that one. You stay here and see what's happening. No score yet, just the single Shido against Drexler.
Well, Drexler is trying to work in Navaza. And from there is danger of
she's managed to, she's
looks
clever.
dangerous, but I know it isn't.
Yeah. But I've seen that so many times with Yates Brown when she manages to turn the right way it looks as though her arm is about to come off, and she manages to turn the right way and avoid getting caught. She's got a good defence, albeit that it's, you know, slightly unorthodox, but she has got a good defence.
It is, that's right.
And as you
That's
say,
40
her
seconds now.
gymnastic ability, almost. Just lost contact with one hand. Dilara Lochmanachim has just thrown her opponent for Ippon. Kochigaki, that was. Sorry.
Oh, that's right.
That was a good effort. You're going to get our aficionados. Oh, he's pulled a Yuko back in the last seconds. 3 penalties and then a Yuko came up. That was, we were following a contest in Rome. We've got another screen open here. Emmanuel Nati has just defeated Danny Williams, Great Britain, in that one, if you're interested. But Drexler picked up the single Shido.
That's
Yates Brown has managed to squeeze past the exceptionally tricky hurdle of Hilda Drexler, fighting at home in Austria, and it's the British fighter Katie Jemima Yates Brown who goes in to the next round. On the adjoining mat, Dilara Lochmanachim of Turkey won her contest, and then down on mat number 1 now, Natalia Kondratieva of Russia faces Anne-Sophie Jura of Belgium. Coming up here, Nina Milosevic of Slovenia faces Busra Katipoglu of Turkey. It's Milosevic in the white judogi, Katipoglu in blue.
Katipoglu of Turkey.
So we got Milosevic in white from Slovenia and Katipoglu in blue from Turkey. Still the under 63 kilogram category, round 2.
Yes, second round. We saw Katipoglu earlier on. So it hasn't taken long for us to get through this. That's because the numbers aren't that big. But as I said earlier on, we have a good quality competition here.
Absolutely, and there's loads more to come still.
Yeah, we haven't seen Capriori or Matsumoto yet.
Exactly. Andrea Chitu.
We've still got a few big names to hit the tatami. Not literally. Euro leads Kondratieva by a Yuko down on mat number 1. That's in the under 48 kilo category. Opening round as well. Kondratieva, one of 4 or 5 Russians looking for that number 1 spot at 48 kilos.
That's right.
Rumyantseva is one of them. Irina Dolgova, another. And then my particular favourite as far as the likelihood of ending up with that number 1 spot is the one that we've left out. I'll leave you to guess to see who that is. She's not here. Kondratieva is on the mat at the moment. Rumyantseva was here, well, was in Sofia last week. She kind of blew out. Dolgova had a rest, and her teammate, Dolgova's teammate, they come from the same club. She, for me, is the one most likely to get the pick, Alessia Kuznetsova. For me, the one that's likely to be in there at the end. It's a good group of under 48 kilo category fighters, and you'd expect them to be well prepared because they've got a terrific lightweight coach with lots of experience. So
here we still have only a Shido on the scoreboard, and that's for Milosevic. Katapoglu is trying with the left side of Shimata.
She just rolled into that, didn't she? That was clever work from Milosevic, who came under threat of getting caught, but trapped the shoulder. And now Katapoglu's fallen into that.
This will be also an interesting matchup with Jemima Yates-Brown and Nina Milosevic, as they both reached the quarterfinals.
Well, Katapoglu is going to have to be disappointed here. You know, the right hip is too far away. She just tries to push it across there, but Milosevic is too strong. She fights off. Look how she traps the shoulder right now. She's thinking of the turnover. She hasn't gone over yet, but she was already thinking of the turnover. Clever work from Nina Milosevic. And then they managed to secure the Osai Komi.
And here we are with the under 57 kilogram category.
We saw Emily
Round
Amaron
2.
earlier on, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
In the first round. Beauchemin Pinard had a bye. So here now are the two going head to head. One of the most difficult and tricky fighters in the under 57 kilo category. Catherine Beauchemin Pinard of Canada, still underrated by some. She's the number 2 seed here, ranked number 11 in the world, so quality fighter. And the Swiss fighter is the
just goes
tricky task of
Yuko with the
facing her.
left-sided Uchimata.
Well, he scored Yuko, didn't he? I haven't seen them put it
Yeah.
on the board yet.
But the referee did give a sign of Yuko, didn't he?
Yeah. He signals it again.
Warning the table officials to put up the Yuko for
Amaron
Amaron.
leads. Meanwhile, down on mat number 1, Catherine Unterwertsacher of Austria faces Larissa Sherepanova of Russia. It's down on mat number 1. Let's stay here because Amaron is putting up a good effort here. Just as we say that, Beauchemin Pinard manages to skip round the left knee, secure the Osai Komi.
I think that's the end of this contest, so we're going to move down to mat number 1 and follow up the match between Unterwurzacher and Sherepanova.
Yeah, let's have a look at that then. There's no scorers yet, and we're inside the first minute. Beauchemin Pinard takes this one, and now let's have a look at Unterwurzacher in the white judogi and Sherepanova in blue.
Beauchemin Pinard of Canada fighting next. Liu Yang of China versus Anni Ikala of Finland.
Kaori Matsumoto just walked into the arena from the warm-up area,
We'll
preparing to her first fight today.
We'll have a look at her afterwards. Nice counter there. Unterwurzacher on the board. Scores Yuko. Uchimata effort from Sherepanova. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. That was a good score. Just having a look at it to make sure, but he was right.
Good control over the sleeve from Unterwurzacher.
Yeah, the Russian looked a little bit defensive there, didn't she? She was lucky to avoid picking up a penalty for being overly defensive there, Sherepanova. She hadn't stepped off the mat. Or if Unterwürzacher hadn't attacked her and they left the mat, she'd probably have picked up a penalty. Yuko on the board anyway. Doesn't come up with the turnover on that occasion. Worked the first time round.
She's working towards an Osaikomi Waza. The time begins to tick now on the scoreboard for her.
An appreciative home crowd as Catherine Unterwürzacher wins her opening contest. Had a bye in the first round. Sharapanova falling at that hurdle. Defeated Yilmaz in her opening contest, but couldn't get past Unterwürzacher.
The replay of the last contest, the counter, where she scored Yuko.
Next final round one, Ivana Kolozova of Slovakia versus
The next contest
of Great Britain.
will be Ivana Komlosiova of Slovakia and Amy Livesey of Great Britain.
Komlosiova in the white judogi, Livesey in blue. A very good morning to Richard Britton. Nice that you could join us. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. Oh, you haven't jinxed anybody, pal, by saying that they've all been winners this morning. I mean, they have. So, maybe Livesey can keep you in good spirits and bring you another win.
Auf Matte 2 nun im weißen Judo-Anzug die Olympiasiegerin von London und der frühere...
We're going to have to go down to mat number 2. If you want to stay here and watch mat number 1, please do, but we're going to have to go down to mat number 2 because the Olympic champion, Matsumoto Kaori, is about to get underway. So
Starts her day.
Yeah, I hope you don't mind if we've come down to watch the Olympic champion, but you know, she kind of takes precedence over Komlosiova and Livesey. I think there may be questions if we don't show Matsumoto. Just needs to free the right leg and it's got it well trapped there. Guia, that's good defense. Is that Barbara Harrell in the chair? It is, isn't it? Look, it looks like her. One-time co-commentator, Barbara Harrell. See, they don't always have to have red hair.
Those were the olden days, Sharon.
That's why she lost the job.
Those days are gone.
No score yet inside the first minute. Matsumoto again looking to free the right leg up, and we are with a strong enough defense for a second time. Done a good job there, just gathering herself, thinking, hang on a minute. Not really that keen to get on the ground with Matsumoto a third time. Koichigake from Matsumoto just bringing Guio down onto a front. She was stepping back, and as a result of that, Matsumoto was a little bit far away, managed to get the leg hooked in briefly. Guio stepped off that and then collapsed the effort. I'm going to have to take a short pause here in the action whilst Guio has some medical attention. Just maybe a cut lip. Get that tidied up and then we'll be back underway.
Exactly, no score. Actually, just
Yeah, Livsy's just put a score
Just
on the
put the
board,
score on, yes.
a Yuko. But anybody who's interested in that's going to be watching it. So
that's right.
we're back on the way. Matsumoto in white, we are in blue. No score as yet, and the French fighter putting up a good show here. Even giving Matsumoto a little bit of a roughing up in the eyes, and that is an unusual sight. A reasonable effort from Guerrero again. Matsumoto can just be falling behind the pace there if she's not careful. Each fighter could do herself a real favour by putting in a couple of attacks before the Japanese does, but it doesn't happen. Matsumoto a little bit too clever.
Steps it up.
Yeah, rather like Kim Jae-bum. He's got that clock that really tells you exactly what's happening and when, and manages it
And
very
I think
well
now
indeed.
she decided to end it there and then. She had enough. And she put Guerrero in Osekomi Baza.
Well, it was third time lucky for Matsumoto, wasn't it? You know, she'd had her down there on 2 previous occasions, and the French girl had managed to escape. But I couldn't see a third happening. Could you?
No.
Not
That's-
really.
That's not like Matsumoto that she let's just think slip of.
Well, Amy
Can
Livesey
go.
has just won on mat number 1, beg your pardon, and now we've got Becky Livesey down on mat number
Sister.
2, coming up next.
Hannah Martin of USA versus Lucy Renshaw of Great Britain.
So we're spoilt for choice there because they're 2 British fighters. We can either watch Becky Livesey or we can go down and watch Hannah Martin and Lucy Renshaw. Let's go down to mat number 1.
Yes.
Attacks before the Japanese does, but it doesn't happen. Yeah, it's a little bit too clever.
Steps it up.
Rather.
Next. Lian Chen Ling.
Here we are with Hannah Martin of the USA in white and Lucy Renshaw of Great Britain in blue.
She just picked up a Shido there. I'm sure the referee indicated that she wanted to give a Shido.
Oh.
No, she's had to cancel it. Okay. That's why it didn't go on the board. They're slightly detached from the tatami. They're up on a podium and a little bit further away. You can't see them immediately. Martin in the white judogi, Renshaw in blue. No score as yet. We're inside the first minute. Gershak Sabino is waiting in the wings, as is Hashimoto Yuki. That will be the contest that we're going to see, the Hashimoto contest, that is. Hashimoto is the number 2 seed. Gershak Sabino is not in the top 4.
Now you can receive the lunch near the main entrance. From now on, it's possible to get lunch near the main entrance.
There you go. Even the stadium announcer is mentioning or talking about lunch. So I can tell you that from past experience, it's always good here. Renshaw attacking right-sided. This is a good matchup between this pair. They're not dissimilar in styles. I suppose Hannah Martin has got by far the greater experience.
That's for sure, yeah, I was going to say that actually.
Pink's her favourite colour. I understand that she's got a pink judogi as well. Must be a sight to behold.
Was she?
Shouldn't be allowed though, should it?
No.
Pink judogi. See, it's nicely balanced at the moment. Neither fighter really controlling anything.
Renshaw just got poked in her eyes a little bit.
Martin picked up the penalty there.
Lian Chenling of Taipei. Next flight, nächster Kampf auf Matte 2 im weißen Überanzug. Die Siegerin des IGF Grand Slam aus Japan.
At these competitions, they print the draw sheet and we fill it in. Well, I'm not very good at filling in the sheets. Annette Berm usually does that. She's terrific. She's got nice handwriting. And Sandra Zaghetti's got nice handwriting. But I noticed that she writes the country name in. That's exactly what Annette used to do when she first started. Just write the name of the country in, or the 3-letter abbreviation. But I can assure you that when you write the names of the players in, you learn them. That's how you learn them really quickly.
That's a good point, actually.
So I know that tomorrow...
No, I won't guarantee that.
No, you're guaranteed. You're absolutely... You get it like that. You get the spellings of the names, you get the pronunciations of the names, help you, and they really stick in your mind when you write the name down 5 times. You know who's done what.
And by the end of the day, I'll be.
And it means next week or the week after, when you're thinking, who won that? It wasn't a German or a Hungarian or Japanese. It was that person. And it becomes personal. Because the more you write the name, the more it sticks.
Of course,
in your mind. So that's my recommendation.
Oh, thank you.
Also makes it easier for me to understand. No score yet between Hannah Martin and Lucy Rentschel. Just a single Shido, but there you go. Spoke too soon. Lucy Rentschel picks up a Shido as well. So both fighters have picked up a Shido apiece. 20-odd seconds left to go. It's been a good little tussle between this pair without being tactically brilliant to watch. But as I said, they're well matched. They're very similar fighters. Down on mat number 2, Hashimoto Yuki of Japan faces Louise Renaud of France. There's another quality youngster from France, Renaud. Tough draw, though, against the number 2 seed here. And bronze medalist at the World Championships, Hashimoto Yuki. Little demon in Neavaza as well. And as I say that, Hashimoto Yuki has just turned Renaud over into Osai Komi, and that will be the end of it.
Here we are going into golden score.
I should have a stat that can be produced that says how many wins a fighter has had in Tachiwaza or Newaza. That would be a nice one. Lance Wicks knows those sorts of things, or how to do them anyway. You know, how to produce that information. That would be really good. But that would necessitate somebody being on hand at every single contest to record how it was won. We don't always have the luxury of that kind of information. Good effort there from Lucy Rentschel, almost turned over by Hannah Martin, but still no score, and we're almost a minute into golden score.
Both players are out of breath a little bit.
Being asked to tidy up here. Someone's going. It's Hannah Martin. He gets penalised. Lucy Rentschel takes a very close fought contest, and disappointment for the American, who, having come in here as the number 4 seed, gets the bye in the first round, then loses her opening contest. So Lucy Rentschel into the quarter-final. Gershak Sabina now faces Sandrine Billier of Belgium. It's Gershak in the white judogi, Billier in blue. There's plenty of time for Gershak. Nice right-sided effort with Ippon Seonagi, low and off to the right. Billier was coming on to her, and that made it easier to launch that attack. Didn't come up with the score. Little tap at the foot there, the right foot of Billier. Just trying to set things up. Attempted to go right-sided with the Tianagi, and then shapes left-sided for Uchimata. There you go. Koichi on the way down. There's signs that you see from young players that give you the confidence that they've got room to grow and that things will happen for them. There've been a few occasions when things have not happened for Gershak and her head has dropped. But she doesn't have to worry. You know, she's tall, strong, looks good in the weight, has got good judo, and I think she's got room to grow.
For sure.
Billier picks up a Shido. When I say room to grow, I don't mean physically. I mean
I
her
think
judo.
She's not.
Yeah, she can improve.
She's not there yet. I meant as well.
Yeah.
Like
technically, she can. She's got room
for
to
improvement.
do it. The other thing is,
She's still growing.
I'm just going to make sure that I say this the right way. It's not that she can improve. That is to say, she hasn't reached a certain level yet. What I mean is, she's got the ability. She has the ability to improve as well as the capacity to soak it up. There are things missing in her game. Now the question is, does she have the ability to improve? And my belief is yes, she does.
Absolutely, I believe so.
Little over 2 minutes left to go. 2 penalties picked up by Billier, having a bit of a struggle with Gershak. Well, we've already seen Matsumoto. We're going to get a look at Caprioriu in the upcoming contest.
Just halfway of this contest.
Just needs to get past that left leg, but she's not in the best
Changed her
position.
mind.
Yeah, decided to stand up. That was more of Gershak deciding to get out of the Nevaza exchange rather than Billier making it difficult for her.
Absolutely.
I'll leave this.
Winner on match 2, Martina Martinovich of Poland. Fighting next,
Left-sided Uchimata attempt.
Jana Sundberg of Finland versus Susanna Pawliowska of Poland.
That's the third penalty for Billier. Got a minute remaining. Minute and a bit. Tamibaza attempt from Gerchak.
You see, sometimes the scoreboard, if you just, because when you get the final score, it may be that there is more to it than just looking at the scoreboard. Billier here has been outclassed. The fourth penalty inside the 3 minutes to me says she's been outclassed. She hasn't been able to find a way to attack Gershak. She hasn't put her under any pressure. Well, she just avoided getting penalised there, but it's coming. She's not careful. You know, this is not going to go the distance because she hasn't been able to work Gershak out, and that suggests to me that Gershak has got some real, you know, she's a really difficult fighter. She hasn't quite got that big punch yet, you know, to knock people over and smash them. But she's very difficult to throw, extremely difficult to throw, difficult to face, and it makes the fighters who are not quite at that level look passive, and they pile up penalties. Half a minute left to go.
That might be Yuko. Yes, it is.
Well, with only 30 seconds left to go, 3 Shidos on the board, that's going to happen because she has to open up.
Bila has to go.
Exactly. She's got to go for it. And the minute that she does, and she ceases the concentration on defense, Gershak is in there. So for me, that's another signal. You know, you've got this difficult task in front of you. If you open up, you're going to get caught. If you don't, you're going to get penalised. Well, she's already picked up the 3 penalties. The minute that she does open up, Gershak is all over her, yeah.
That's the end of this contest. Gershak will face Lucy Renshaw of Great Britain in the quarterfinals.
Winner on mat 1, Gershak Sabina of Hungary.
The next contest on mat number 1
Fighting next,
will be Corina Capriorio of Romania facing Zhou Ying of China.
versus Zhu Ying of China.
So here is the Olympic silver medalist, begins her journey today.
That's a nice picture, isn't it, of Capriorio?
Liebe Judo-Freunde auf der Matte 1, hier ist im weißen Judo-Anzug die Silbermedaille.
She's currently ranking number 8 on the world ranking list.
Corina Capriorio.
Capriorio in white and Joe.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Z-H-O-U is Joe. It's a minefield, isn't it? You know, pronunciations. Oh, there you go.
I think we got 3 online Chinese calls from Sheldon today. Great right-sided soda from Capriorio, scores the Yuko. She got head-butted right in the beginning of the contest. And now she's in a little bit of a pain.
Single Yuko the lead for Capriorio. Jana Sundberg, meanwhile, on mat number 2 in the under 52 kilo category, has just defeated Susanna Pawlinkowska of Poland.
Winner on mat 2.
Almost.
Looking for another soda attempt there.
Fighting next, Shijime Ai of Japan.
She gets the feet in the right position, the body appears to be there, and there's just not the hand contact.
Yes,
It falls
her
away.
right hand, yes.
Yeah, with one hand.
It's not secured enough.
Screams from the Chinese supporters as Joe almost comes up with a score. This is the category I said that the Chinese were struggling to find someone.
That's right. Ying blocks Sutamiwa's attempt of Caprioryu. Who just dived in again on the right side. She dives in without having a secured grip, and that's one of the reasons she can't score with it. She just gets the sleeve and then she dives in, drops on her knee. She can't quite finish off the throws. Reaching the last minute of this contest, we still have the Judo on the scoreboard, which Caprioryu scored earlier on in the contest. This time she tries on the left side.
Winner on mat 2, Jijingyang Ai of Japan.
Reaching the last 20-second when Zhou almost managed to get a Yuko on the scoreboard for her side. Luckily Caprioryu turned out of it. She picks up a penalty for being passive. That's 15 seconds to go. Another dive in from Ying. That's the end of this contest. Now we are a step closer to repeat the 2012 Olympic final as Caprioryu wins her first contest.
It wasn't the most convincing of performances, but
No.
you know, first thing in the morning, you're going to take that. You say, hey,
It's a
I
good
just
warm-up.
want to get past, you know, Joe here. You know, she may be a bit tricky, so let me just, you know, avoid any banana skins and get into the next round.
That's right.
Martina Loggiodice of Italy versus Alessandra
Contest, we have
Sanikova of
Martina
Russia.
Loggiodice of Italy in white, facing Alexandra Shalnikova of Russia in blue. Just looking at the draw, and for Caprioryu to go to the final, she will still have to overcome Yoshida.
Well, if that's Yoshida gets past Kadila, we thought that Ohai would manage that.
That's right.
She didn't. And the other thing is that you've also got Helene Rosovo there.
Rosovo, that's
So,
right.
and Rosovo looks strong to me.
Beautiful left-sided Ouchigari to end the contest quickly from Martina.
Loggiodice takes that. A compact little fighter, isn't she?
Winner,
The Italian.
Martina Loggiadice of Italy. Fighting next, Tesla Cadia Acevedo of Spain versus Yoshida
Next contest we have on mat number 1.
Well, we're going to find out what's going to happen now with Yoshida.
Exactly.
Here she is.
We have Tekla Kadila Acevedo facing Yoshida Tsukasa of Japan.
Loggiadice really has that sewn up now, because at 57 in Italy, it had been for quite a while Giulia Quintavalli, but you know, Loggiadice looks like the one to me. Olympic champion from Beijing, Italian.
She pulled it off there, didn't she?
Yeah, you only need a day.
Exactly.
Just make sure that it's the day that your weight category is being held in the Olympic Games, and you're off. Chance for the turnover. Got to just stay
Ooh,
tight
I
on the
wouldn't
top
go
half
there.
now.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't have gone there. It's always a danger there.
She wants to be a little bit further up the body, especially as that right hand is underneath. You know, that's the thing that's causing
Oh,
the
the
trouble.
hold.
But
The hold is on now.
yeah,
so
she's managed to put it on tight enough. Another ippon in Newaza. Good awareness, you know, moving the body in the right way when you need to get that covered. A win there for Yoshida Tsukasa of Japan. She goes into the quarterfinal.
That's right.
Something with Sumiya Akos. That's the quarterfinal in the under 48 kilo category, down on mat number 2. Turkish fighter leading by Yuko.
Fighting next,
She's picked up 3 penalties, however.
France versus Anna Ligeti.
She
But
scored
a
twice.
Wasari now.
Yeah, Wasari and a Yuko.
There's the replay of the action in the Newaza from Yoshida. And the way she secured the hold on. Now we have
Helene Rossavo and
from
Anna
France.
Righetti of Italy. It was Helene Rossavo that told me earlier on, when I went over to chat to her, about her teammate from 2010 it was, I think, when we were in Agadir for the Junior World Championships.
She won her first contest with an arm lock. I'm just looking at this contest. Is she gonna pull off
Yeah, it's
another
coming
one?
again, yeah.
There it is. So we'll have a good matchup with Rosawo and Yoshida in the quarterfinals.
She's looking strong, isn't she?
She is.
Hélène Ressemont of France. Fighting next on mat 1, Andrea Citu of Romania versus Laura Holzinger of France. And the winner
And now
of
the
mat 2
World Championship silver medalist, Andrea Citu, also starting her day with the first contest, facing Laura Holzinger of France.
versus Tupreka of Hungary.
So Akush made it to the semi-finals, and now we have Ebru Zahim facing Pupreka as well on mat number 2.
Her teammate,
That's
Ebru
right.
Shaheen.
That will be an interesting semi-final.
Well, it's a real, you know,
Whilst Lokmani can just
and it
walks
just
in.
absolutely. She's just taking
Walks
care
in.
of business in the lower half there. Well, she's in the top half,
Top
beg your
half,
pardon,
yeah.
yeah. Is that all Hungarian match to come, isn't there? In the under 48 kilo category, Ngaranu and Xie beat Dumitru. So you've got the Chinese and Ngaranu up there in the top half. That's in the under 48 kilo category. That's a nice matchup. Ngaranu and Xie. Lokmanachim and
Yura
Sophie
defeated
Yura.
Kondratieva,
Got past Kondratieva. Sumia Akos and Melanie Clement, Ebru Shaheen and Pup Rekka. So, you know, we've got some good contests to come. I think, well, that semi-final, probably Sumia Akos and
that
Ebru
will
Shaheen.
be a good one to watch. In
And
the
then-
meantime,
Go on.
Chitu just scored a Wazari.
They've given Yuko now, down on mat number
2.
two for that, yeah.
Danger of the arm lock there.
Oop, no,
Can
missed
she
it now.
finish it off?
No. Looking for the Shimiwaza.
They cancelled the Yuko for Ebru.
Wow, surprising. It went from Wazari to Yuko to 0. You won't be seeing him in the final block then.
Andrea Chitu just got a second
Yeah.
Wazari.
Wazari Awazeti upon that finishes it off. Oh no,
No.
this one's going as well. Just waiting to see the replay of that. That's not us. We're not waiting. It's the contest judges who are looking at their replay monitor, and they've given it a Yuko. So we're going to continue. The minute and 40 odd seconds left to go. Kitsu in the white judogi, Holzinger in blue. A little bit heavy-footed, that last effort from Kitsu. She didn't turn the top half of her body at all. Sandra Zaghetti still persisting in writing in the
Not everywhere.
the 3-digit
This one.
country
No,
code.
this name I decided not to.
Yeah, those are the ones you have to write down, because once the easy ones are easy. It's the difficult ones that you have to go for, because they absolutely concentrate your mind on how they're spelled, the pronunciation, and you remember them. That was Ippon that time. It's the only way I've done it, in particular with the Japanese, Georgian, Mongolians. Once you've had to write that out once.
I pick up Georgians very quickly.
Yeah.
I pick the names up very quickly. I don't like spelling and everything, but this
Oh, okay.
this
I know.
particular name here is
I'm gonna let that one go.
why.
Let that one go. Some people are going to be questioning your statement about the fact that you pick up Georgians easily.
The names we're talking about and the spellings. Come on.
You got to be careful. There's sharp people out there that are going to pick up on these kind of statements. You just can't throw that out there and expect that to go.
If they were listening,
go
they know what we're
missing.
talking about.
Asa of Turkey faces Melissa Templeman of the United States of America.
scores a yuko in the first 15 seconds of the contest with the right-sided standing seonaga.
Coach of the United States of America is going to have to make up his mind. Is he going to stand or sit? What he can't do is to stand behind there and do any coaching, you know. So the Turkish coach decides that he's going to take his seat. Interesting, we had a byplay there as the coach from the USA invited him to take a seat. He can sit in any chair, I suppose, if they're vacant.
We are going to have just a quick update on the under 48.
Ebru Şahin, yes, sorry.
We are going to have a Turkish semi-final with number 2 and number 3 seeded.
Punch up coming.
It is.
Here goes the lead for Asa. She goes right-sided with that little low right-sided Taitoshi. Maybe he doesn't like to sit down, the coach. You know. He's got a bad back or something, has to stay standing. I thought for a minute he didn't expect his fighter to last that long, that you'd have to sit, but
that's bad.
That wasn't very pleasant, was it? But
not really.
Not only that, she's well into a minute and a half. She's done a good job. Looked to go left-sided there. Not bad little movement from Templeman. Picked up the single Shido. Looks as though they've ripped the back patch off her suit at some stage. That's not a bad little effort, is it? You know, moves her feet well, gets the top half of the body in there, has to defend on the ground now.
Templeman had the leg. She kept on holding on the leg of Arka.
Missed with the attempted roll for the shimiwaza. Arm done if she can be tight in defence. Yeah, going to stretch that left leg out, make it difficult to come up with a turnover, and Asa decides no, it wasn't going anywhere anyway. Minute 17 left to go. Single Yuko, the lead for Asa of Turkey against Melissa Templeman, United States of America.
Good effort from Arka in Nevaza. But Templeman also aiming to get a score there. She's running out of time and it's not on her favor.
I mean, she hasn't been swept off the mat or anything, Templeman. Put up a reasonable little showing. Movement has been okay. Reactions to that attack there, for example. You know, she reacts well. She obviously has a bit of judo about her. Force attack from Asa, picks up a Shido, but with the Yuko on the board.
Exactly.
He's the one who leads here. That was a little bit too far away. The left leg was way up too high, but
those are the last shots. When you have 9 seconds left on the clock, you just go out.
But it wasn't a bad effort from Templeman. She
No,
never
that's
looked.
all.
She never looked out of place at that level. Gave it a good go.
That's right.
Arjan of Turkey. Fighting next, Ma Yingnam of China versus Laura
Next contest on mat number 1 will be Ma Yingyan of China facing Bayo Laura of Spain.
Well, depending what happens on mat number 1 with Yang Chunxia and Mine Miho of Japan, we may go down there. The Japanese leads. Mine leads with just a few seconds left to go, because coming up next will be the quarter-final in the under 63 kilo category. Katie Jemima Yates-Brown faces Nina Milosevic, and then we'll have Catherine Beauchemin-Pinard in the first of the quarter-finals in the under 57 kilo category against Liu Yang. So I think that's probably well worth watching. And just a note quickly on Melissa Templeman, 26 years old. Not a great deal else about her, so maybe she's giving the qualification for Rio a shot. Why not? This is Ma Yingnan facing Laura Bayo of Spain, but we're going to go down to mat number 2. This is a round 2 contest there in the under 52 kilo category, but we're already at the quarterfinal stage in the under 63 kilo category, so why not go down there to watch that? We've got the...
And Miho Mina just took the first spot in the quarterfinal from Japan in the under 63 kilogram. She will face the winner of this contest.
That's right. Oop, almost. Not the kind of power you required there from Milosevic. Just needed that little bit more thump in there. Almost had Yates-Brown rolling over, but not quite. She's not going to give you many chances.
Not really.
You get them, you better put them away. Well, you can see the thinking there. You know, you've got that little seoinage top with the koji bottom, but you need to sell it properly. What you really want is 2 or 3 seoinage efforts, determined ones, that has your opponent defending against that initial move. They feel the seoinage at the top and they defend back. That's when you can throw in the leg for the koji. If you haven't sold them on the first effort, you know, and the first thing that they see is that every time you shape, you know, that's what they're going to feel. And you're nowhere then, because you haven't got the top half, they're blocking that, and you haven't got the bottom half because they're too far away. You really have to sell them. The scoring part of the technique is the kouchi. If the kouchi is the last part, then the first part has got to be serious. You've got to be serious about the first part. That's what you want them defending. So you've got to sell them on that first. Milosevic needs to have a little bit of tidying up. Yates-Brown gets to have a bit of a breather. I suppose friends and family must be watching at home. I know Katie's mum is, you know, big supporter, so if you're watching, hello to you. Big hello.
And for the rest of the family.
Yeah, big hello for your little girl. She's not that little at 63 kilos, is she? To be honest. You know. Softly spoken when off the mat, but hard as nails when on it. Agata Perenc has just defeated Petra Nareks on mat number 2 in the under 52 kilo category. No score as yet. Petra Jungwirth is the referee in the middle from Austria, refereed at the 2005 World Championships. few kilos heavier then. I bet she doesn't mind me saying that.
There is a try of a...
Category up to 48 kilogram.
There was a try of a Jujigatame from Milosevic, but
It's not going to be easy to
not
catch
at all.
Yates Brown on the ground. She picks up a penalty for passivity. Yeah. No panic yet. Just a little under 2 minutes left to go. That was nice, strong breaking of the grip there. Thought about the Yoko Tomoenagi and now trying to involve Milosevic and some Niraza, but Slovenia not interested. And that Tomoenagi attempting to draw her opponent in didn't pass muster with Jungwirth, who ended up giving Yates Brown second penalty, and now chance to work on the arm.
It's strange how because she's so flexible, she's giving the hope of the opponent that
Yeah.
right, I've got the arm, I'm gonna have this, and then
Nothing happens.
if anyone ever seen her fighting, we know that
Yeah.
it's not gonna go anywhere.
It's just to be secure with that grip before she attempts that Sode. Turned in, but wasn't quite there. Milosevic making things difficult, dropping underneath
Another
Yates
Senai.
Brown. Yeah. There's no turnover there, so the referee calls Mate, and there's
Under a minute now.
40 odd seconds left to go. Yeah. It's getting tight now. Need to put a score on the board. Milosevic just
Puts in an
Pulling,
extra
yeah.
14 there.
pulling Yates Brown around, really. Well, this is it here. Picks up a third penalty. Unlike Yates Brown to collect that number of penalties without coming up with some serious efforts. But Milosevic has fought this very cleverly. She's been attacking just as Yates Brown looks as though she's going to settle on the grip. In comes Milosevic with an attack which is not that great. You know, she hasn't caught Yates Brown, but that's not...
A win is a win.
Yeah, she's going to
Um,
pick up a penalty.
I think
for
around
stepping
halfway
out,
through
yeah.
when she changed, I think at the beginning Milosevic was aiming to throw, and then she had a bit of a panic around after the first minute, right, what I'm going to do with this girl.
Yeah.
And then I think after that,
Yeah,
that's
she ran onto it.
exactly, but
You know, it's,
either way she would have gone.
it's like the floodgates opening, and all of a sudden down it comes, and you
Yes.
just, you know, sit there and lap it up. Third penalty, time running out, as we said earlier on. You know,
Exactly.
there's now to be done except go for it, and then the defences are down.
Yes.
Well, we will see Yates Brown again. It'll be in the repechage contest, but it's Milosevic who takes her place in the second of the semi-finals, and she'll face Mine Miho of Japan.
That's the replay of the Sonaga score.
We've got another quarter-final coming up now, this time in the under 57 kilo category. Catherine Beauchemin-Pinard of Canada faces Liu Yang of China. It's Beauchemin-Pinard in the white judogi and Liu in blue. I like the look of this matchup as well. As we've said all morning, the Chinese searching for someone at under 57 kilos. Have they found someone with Liu? Well, won't be long before we find out, because she's got a stiff test against Catherine Beauchemin-Pinard. Joe was the other entrant in the under 57 kilo category from China, but she's fallen. She lost out.
Oh, danger of an arm lock again.
She's a bit sharp on the ground. She had the
She's good on the ground.
yeah, she had the right leg in the wrong place, and that allowed her to turn. Well,
Matter. She was in the move. She was.
for me,
I mean,
I'd like to have seen a
I
little
might
bit
be
more.
wrong, but
No, I'd have liked to have seen a little bit more.
and we know she's good in Navaza. She tends to score most of the time in Navaza.
Monica Ungureanu of Romania has won her contest against Xie.
She goes to the semi-final with that win.
Fighting next, on lane 1, Dilara Lokmanikim of Turkey versus Anna-Sophie Juma.
That's Lokmanikem now. Going to walk through the draw before meeting one of her teammates.
It's a nice setup there. Ungureanu, Lokmanikim, Akos, and Shahin. Those were the top 4 seeds, and we got 3 out of 4 in the semi-final already. We're just waiting for the result of the contest between Dilara Lokmanikim and Anne-Sophie Jura of Belgium. That contest is taking place on mat number 1 at the moment, and Jura will do well to get past Lokmanikim.
She has done well on the first contest, defeating Natalia Kondratyeva.
Yeah, that was a good win. No score yet between Beauchemin Pinard and Liu. Just a single Shido against the Canadian. Liu looking to go right-sided there, but lost the left hand, and then there wasn't anything to take hold of. Collapsed onto her front, and that's given Beauchemin Pinard the opportunity to attack on the ground now, trying to work on the shimiwaza and the turnover. Whoop.
And she might have got it.
Well, the referee's in the best possible position. He's standing
Exactly.
right above them looking at it. Can see whether that's going to go on or not. Changing to try and work on the arm, so she's lost the shimiwaza. And now a nice little turn from Liu.
Moving
Now,
into Osai Komiwaza.
exactly, going to have to turn out of the Osai Komi. Real hard work here from Liu. Traps the leg as well.
Back to armlock, back to the...
Good turn again, turns right in, making it very, very difficult. And now just needs to
Good defense
stand
from
up. Yeah, really good.
Liu, to be honest.
Oh, here's the thing. Liu would have loved to have burned a minute off the clock. She just did. All in that defense.
That's right. It was, well, dangerous.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
But she managed.
3 times, there was the shimiwaza, there was the kansetsu waza, there was the osai waza. She could have gone for either of those, but managed to escape. Good defense from Liu, and now Beauchemin Pinard looks at the
Has to run
clock.
after the score.
There's a good look at the clock, and now it's Liu's turn to work in Niavaza and see the clock
Wait some more time.
burning away. She wants to be on her feet, doesn't she? Does Beauchemin Pinard. Good turn as well. Didn't step backwards. Came to her left. And that'll be it. It's a big
There
win.
you go. You're looking for a 57 on
Yeah. That's a big win.
Chinese.
Yeah.
You got it now.
Liu beating Catherine Beauchemin Pinard. So it's the first of the seeds. Well, no, we saw Ohai fall the top 4 seeds. So we'll see Benjamin Pinard in the
front, and that's given
repechage contest. Caprioriu is still in. Matsumoto is still in.
Shimiwara,
And the turnover. Whoop. And speaking of the devil, here she is. Well, not quite the devil, but the assassin anyway.
She's up against
There you go.
Lian
Chenling.
Chenglian.
Thank you very much. Christian Trésor.
Auf Matte 2 jetzt das
Matsumoto Kaori in the white judogi, the Olympic champion from London 2012, faces Lian Chenling of Chinese Taipei.
They had the occasion to face each other 2 times already, and both occasions Matsumoto overcome Lian.
Nice and upright from Lian. Steps off the attempted Kouchi. I like it when you've got an opponent of that quality like Matsumoto, and you see the positive stance taken by Lian. She almost goes over there with that little Yashibarai, but just onto her knees, and there's no score. Matsumoto working on her favourite turnover here. Here it is. Osai Komi. Oh, that was beautifully done, wasn't it? And look at the trap on the arm.
She just gets it from every angle. It's incredible.
That was absolutely terrific piece of work. Nice turnover.
The main time on mat number 1, look, Manikem won her quarterfinals and goes through to the semi-final now. So we do have the top 4 seeded in the top 4 positions at the moment in the under 48 kilogram category.
Just a single Yuko was enough to take Lokmanakim through. 3 Turkish fighters in that last 4 in these, and there's no score. I think they're going to working on take some medals, don't you, over here?
Right.
Nice turnover, really neat turnover.
Yeah.
Komi. Oh, that was beautifully done. Big chair.
I know
Look
the
at
feeling of
trap
that.
on the arm.
She just gets it from every
Big
angle.
chair
It's
for
incredible.
Catherine. Absolutely. We better. Terrific piece of work. Nice turnover. It's Unterweltsacher of Austria or Hashimoto Yuki of Japan. Let's watch Hashimoto quickly in the expectation that she's going to have a top draw win. I'm not hoping that she'll win. I'm just expecting.
Yeah, that sounded a bit
Martinovic.
undermining.
Yeah, well, Martinovic has got a big job in her hand. Martinovic in the blue judogi faces Hashimoto Yuki of Japan in white. Let's see whether the Polish fighter can come up with something against the Japanese here.
And Unterweltsacher just scored a Wazari. Whilst we have a
Typical
hold on,
Hashimoto.
yes. We got the Osai Komi was
A little bit untidy with that. Got to go on the arm now. Well, she's got in the wrong position for it. Right leg's not there.
She'll get that leg out, I'm sure.
No, there's no Osai Komi. Quickly corrected by
Got
the
the leg
referee.
and the hands
Yeah.
together wrapped.
Yeah, well, that's going to help to push it out, but you're going to lose the top half. There, Tatishio Gatami now. Still not strong. It's all legs here. Really strong with the lower half of the body to hold Martinovic. Oh, she's gone again. Everything on the ground
Probably
here.
the first person I see to manage to escape from a
Here comes
hold
the
down of
turn
the
again.
Japanese
Yeah,
fighter.
just the leg. We've seen it come out on a couple of occasions, so you should give it that little bit of time, which he has done, because it's out again.
And there we go again.
Third time, I don't think
Yeah.
so. And this is the strongest of
And
the
looks-
three. The seat is
yes.
perfect. That's a classic, absolutely classic seat.
Sealed on now.
So it was all Nevaza there. Martinovic coming up against one of the
We have-
renowned experts in
That's
Nevaza
right.
on the circuit at the moment, Hashimoto Yuki. So Hashimoto into the semi-final.
and
We're
he
gonna-
might be facing a teammate.
Could be Shishime Ai, but we're going to go down to mat number one because the number one seed in the under 63 kilo category, Catherine Unterwelzacher of Austria, is up against Amy Livesey of Great Britain. This is the quarter-final in the under 63 kilo category. Unterwelzacher leads by Rosari. There's a little under a minute and a half left to go, and here is Sandra Zaghetti.
Livesey drives in with a right-handed haragoshi. And that's the end of the contest as Unterwelzacher overcomes Livesey Nevaza. Not sure if you see the replay of that. So that will be Katrin Unterwelzacher who is going to the semi-final, and she'll face the winner of the next contest, which is between Lucy Renshaw and Gerchak Sabina. There is the replay.
Next final, mat one. Lucy Renshaw
And that's
versus Gershak
an arm lock. She won by an arm lock. Wasn't sure, couldn't quite see from here whether it was a strangle or an arm lock, but now we've seen the replay and it was an arm lock she scored with. Here we have Lucy Renshaw in white from Great Britain and Gerchak Sabina of blue from Hungary. Lucy begins to attack with right-sided Uchimata. First she hooked in for a Uchigari and then she switched to an Uchimata. It was after Mata when Gerchak hooked on for a Kouchigaka and tried to throw with it. Renshaw is going in again. Hooked in for Uchigari. It's going to be an Uchimata battle here as Gerchak is a left-handed player and Renshaw is a right-handed player, but both likes a bit of Uchigari Uchimata combination. Now Gerchak steps up her game a bit. It's a better grip for the Hungarian. Before Renshaw was coming on with the top right-handed grip, that wasn't handy for the Hungarian. Now she tries to overturn Renshaw in Nevaza. And there she managed it. And scored a nippon with it. Yeah, and I couldn't quite see it, and the referees at the table as well couldn't see Yeah, that is the tap. Now I see it in the replay. Lucy Renshaw tapped on the Shima attack from Gerchak. So we'll have Katrin Unterwurzacher of Austria facing Gerchak Sabina of Hungary in the semi-finals of the under 63 kilogram category. And here we have the under 57 kilogram category quarterfinals coming on. Corina Capriori of Romania facing Martina Lugici of Italy. It's Capriori in white and Lugici in blue. Double lapel grip, double sleeve grip, sorry, from Capriori. That's the grip she likes to work from. She can attack both sides with a soda. There he is, she secures again both sleeves. Sutemi Vazata. Lugucci defeats, steps off it. Again, pinning the sleeve down both sides. There is the soda attack. Good defense from Lugucci. Capriori picks up a penalty. She's seeking to break off that left hand of Lugucci. Now she drops underneath for a Sutemi Vaza. Again for Tomoenaga.
Ladies and gentlemen, the eliminations on 2 are finished so far.
Well, stadium announcer was talking about the end of the preliminaries on mat 2. We've still got plenty of judo going on here on mat number 1. So don't go anywhere. Stay with us. And whilst Sandra Zaghetti is keeping you up to date with the quarterfinal between Capriori and Logidice, I'm going to have a quick look and see what's happening in Rome as far as the men are concerned, and I'll try not to get in the way of the
second penalty for Capriori.
I'll try not to get in the way of the commentary there. Just to let you know, in the under 60 kilo category, we've had Capriori fell into that as well.
The coach is complaining that.
Well, she should tap then.
Yeah, that's fine. That the arm is. There's no such a rule, is it?
Exactly. There was nothing there. Yeah, she's had a bit of a bellyache today. In the under 60 kilo category, Papenashvili and Turbots, Oshima and Garrigos, those were the semi-finalists, and the first of the semi-finals has already taken place. Papenashvili has defeated Matthias Turbos. The Georgian goes into the final. He'll face the winner of the contest between Oshima Yuma of Japan and Francisco Garrigos of Spain. That's in the under 60 kilo category here. And we've just seen Capriori end any hopes of a repeat of the Olympic final.
Exactly, I was about to say that
Losing
the big
out.
match I was looking forward, and I think lots of others.
Yeah.
We're not going to have that today.
She loses out to Martina Logidice. See, she slips here. Look, she loses away, and then she's onto her back. Yoshida Tsukasa of Japan faces Helene Rossavo of France. It's Yoshida in the white judogi and Rossavo in blue. That's coming up now.
Rosova is in a good shape today, so this will be a good matchup.
I'm not going to go through any of the other lineups in Rome because they're still battling away, so I'll just leave it with the 60 kilo semi-final lineup at the moment. We'll come back to you because we're going to be finished off here as they line things up in Rome. And we'll just let you know what's happened there, and then we'll take our break. I'm not sure what we've done as far as the setup is concerned. No, I've just been handed it by Lance Wicks. Okay, he didn't hand it. He didn't hand it to me, but he showed me where it was. He indicated with his eyes. He could sense what it is that I was looking for. He didn't manage it this morning with the coffee, but he's managed to work this one out. I don't know how you would indicate you wanted a cup of coffee with your eyes. You know? Anyway,
something new to learn for you.
what it was we wanted to know when the opening ceremony was. Well, that's 3:30. 3:30 the opening ceremony, and immediately after that we'll have the final block. So depending on how long the opening ceremony goes on from, about 15 minutes I suppose, we should be looking at about 15:45 or 3:45 in old-fashioned speak, for those of you that don't speak a 24-hour clock.
Is that, why did you say old-fashioned?
Well, it is old-fashioned because modern people tend to say, 15:30 or 17:50, 19:25. You know what time it is.
Yeah.
That tends to be, continental, but the British, definitely the Americans. Not sure about the Australians and New Zealanders. They go for the 24-hour clock, Lance? A little bit. New Zealanders go either way. Could be, the old-fashioned.
They speak both.
One or the they could go for the 24-hour clock. No score
and here,
yet.
Yoshida picked up the Judo.
Again, another Japanese who's just slightly off the pace.
Certainly not Matsumoto. She is not.
Yeah. Hashimoto as well. They get on with it, don't
right.
they? A little bit of settling at some of the younger ones. Those with more experience know that you require a higher tempo. Rosovo picked up a rather silly penalty there from holding on to the fingers of her opponent. Well, if you've been penalised once, you don't do it again.
Exactly.
Oh, Ashiwaza! Yep.
Yuko for Yoshida now.
Yuko the lead, a little over a minute left to go. .3:30 is the opening ceremony. 4:45, I'd imagine, will be underway with the final block. That will include the repechage, semi-finals and the medal fights. Uchimata right-sided from Rosovo, doesn't come off, misses out again, and then it's Yoshida's turn to try a little stab left-sided, but it wasn't really serious and never threatened. Oh, big hook in. Well, you'll have to see whether it was
what
the
was
hands.
the matter?
Well,
because of the immediate attack with the bare hand.
Well, it would only be a mate the first time round. Next time it would be mate and Shido. Does she just dive straight for her?
Yeah.
Is there any contact? Well, I don't know. There could have been contact from Yoshida first of all.
Well, Rosovo claims that she had Yoshida had a grip.
Yeah, that Rosovo's claiming that Yoshida had a grip.
That's right.
If Yoshida has a grip, then it's okay. That's a previous one. Don't worry. My man's working on it. He will nail it. He'll nail it shortly. I have every confidence in him. There you go.
There it is.
Yoshida takes hold, but it's kind of simultaneous, isn't it? It's pretty
she didn't
close.
physically had the grip.
I might go for this. This is a good Both of them. I don't know. You go with the score, don't you?
Well, does the rule says you physically have to have a grip because she doesn't, or intentionally?
The exact wording of the rule,
Yeah.
the exact wording of the rule, we'll have to look up because I don't have it. The intention here, however, is that Rosovo cannot just go direct
That's right.
for the bear hug. That's a mate. If, however, her opponent has a grip, then she can take a grip and have a score. I'd like to see a score given here, to be honest. Yep, Ippon. Yep. That's Ippon to Rosovo, yeah. So all of the referees should have a look at that. Maybe we can show it again. Because Yoshida's got her hands on her, so
So that changes the whole plan of the under 57 kilogram category, what we had in the morning. And now we have the semi-final between of Martina Loguchi. Well, not now, but we will have the semi-final between of Loguchi and Rosovo. However, what we got now at number 1 is Andrea Chito of Romania in white facing Ayaz Avka of Turkey in blue. And that's the quarterfinals of the under 52 kilogram category. Shadon just gone off to rush to double check the preview section with the referees. And here Chito is jumping on Arca to work in Nevaza. It's a bit of a danger there with an arm. She's changing into a cycling Nevaza, but she got the leg trap, so she'll need to take that out. The referee called Mata. Arca dived in for Rogoshi and she to try to counter her. And he's Shadon back now. So what was the discussion over there?
well, again.
Oh, there was no discussion.
Well, there was, because obviously all the referees involved want to be absolutely on top of what that decision was and to ensure that they reinforce the information that they've been given at refereeing seminars and things, and they've had a look at the replay. The question is, was there sufficient enough contact by Yoshida on Rosovo to allow Rosovo to come up with the bear hug Kosotogaki? She cannot directly go into that technique. They've stopped that. So there must be contact with your opponent before that technique is allowed. And there was contact. For me, it was so close. Rosovo was already in the act. Rosovo was already in the act of wrapping her arms around Yoshida and coming up with the attack. That was already in her mind.
She knew what she was doing.
She knew what she was going to do. She was into the action already, and it could be taken that Yoshida was only defending herself, but she happened to get her hands on Rosovo first.
That's right. They just checking the replay. I think it was rather on the same time when they gripped up before Rosovo actually executed the attack, but I'm sure Shadow will confirm that soon. I was just telling the audience that I think it was the same time but when they gripped up, or
I can't remember which poet or something in English literature said, "Ours is not to reason why." There's some wag out there who's going to... Richard Britton, he's good at that. He must know those things. Send us an email and tell us who it was that said that. Ours is not to reason why. We just commentate on the action. Kitsu it is who leads by Yuko. Minute 20 odd. Kitsu's the real hope for the Romanians, isn't she?
That's right. And I was looking at the sheet from the 57, and we have only one remaining.
Ungaranu still in with a shout though. Faces
No, I meant like
Laura Lokmanachim.
out of the seeded people in 57.
Oh
we only
right,
have-
okay. Thank you very much, Jerry, who it is that tells us it was Alfred Lord Tennyson who said, ours, not to reason why, just to do or die. Alfred Lord Tennyson. Got some of his works at home. I haven't read them. I've just got them on the shelf.
Decoration of the house, right?
Well, it makes you look clever when people come round, doesn't
Exactly.
it? You know? They think you're well read. Yuko's still the lead for Kitsu as she attacks, or gets attacked from Isa Arsa of Turkey. 52 seconds left to go. Nice battle here.
Yeah.
Turkish
Arka's
fighter
not
putting the
giving up.
pressure on.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Oh, ooh, that was close.
We know that Chitu is sensitive with the Uchigaris.
Oh, Chigari went onto a front there. Huge intake of breath there from Romanian as she battles to stay ahead. A little over half a minute left to go. It's a little bit frantic from the Turkish fighter and slightly untidy, but you can understand.
Of course.
You're gonna just have a look at something. No, it's okay. Yeah, keep going. Half a minute left to go. Good little battle. Oh, nice effort there. Right-sided with the attempted Osodagari. Real pressure here for Kitsu. There's just enough time here, I think, because she's really flagging. And Isa Ark is still strong. Just enough time to put in another strong attack. And that wasn't it. The
Another
feet were in the
drop
wrong
one.
place.
That's right.
Couldn't get the body turned.
And now Chitu's.
The mind was willing, but the body was weak. I don't think Tennyson said that one.
Oh.
4 seconds wasn't long enough. The clock didn't start for a while, but it's all done and dusted now. Good effort, really good effort from Isa Arsa. We've got another contest coming up after
That's
this, so
right.
we've got time. Make repairs to our studio here in Oberwart. Terrific effort
Okay.
from the Turkish fighter. Distraught at having lost in the quarter-final. We will see her again in the semi-final in any event. So,
Winner number 1, Andrea Judo, Romania. In the last fight of the eliminations, now in
The next contest coming up, and the last one before the morning block. It's Ma Yingyan of China facing Agata Parent of Poland. So that's Ma in white and Parent in blue. Great attack from the Polish competitor. I would guess or I would suggest the Yuko, but I'm on the wrong side of the mat. Couldn't quite see it properly. I'm sure the referee seen it from a better angle, so there's no score there.
Last of the contests then. We spoke quite a lot about the 57 kilo category, but we haven't spoken about the Chinese in the under 52 kilo category, Ma Yingnan. She's the one with the quite boyish haircut, close cropped, I'd say, and she's up against Agata Perenc of Poland.
Perenc had 2 contests up to now, whilst Ma had a bye at the first round and defeated Laura Bayo on the second round. And that was their journey to the quarterfinals. Judo for Perenc. Another Kochi attempt. The Polish coach is claiming Yuko, but certainly this wasn't a Yuko this time, as well as the last time.
A little over 2 minutes left to go. I don't know if, I mentioned this morning about who's in the lead, and for me, when there's no score, I don't look at the Shidos that much. I still think that a Yuko is going to change things, and for as long as there's no score, there could be Yukos here and there, unless it really begins to play with the tactics, then I don't worry too much, especially when you've got 2.5 minutes left to go. It's too early to start talking about tactics then with only one Yuko, because you're not going to hold on, one Shido, sorry, you're not going to hold on to it for that long.
Yeah,
something's going to give.
No,
oh, that was a nice counter.
Just when you said it.
Yeah.
Was there for Ma? She continues the work in Navaza, trying to pass through the legs.
And you can see what Ma's thinking was when she was a Shido down. I've got to throw her. Not that I've got to try and get 3 more Shidos against her in minute 20 odd seconds. She wasn't going to do that.
Right.
So what happens is you have a player, and she's still positive there, looking for an opening. The situation would have been different with a minute 21 if Perenc had had 3 Shidos. Ma's thinking then would have gone away from trying to score to trying to get her opponent another Shido. And that's where the referees go against you. The referee will give you the benefit of the doubt if you're trying to score. But if you're trying to get your opponent a Shido, they don't like that. You see the difference there?
Yes, of course. And the approach of the competitors is different.
Yeah.
That's right.
There you go. Still working away. 40 odd seconds. It's a nice look from Ma. That's a positive thing. She hasn't looked at the board, thinks, right, it's
I'm going to step down and
40 seconds to go. I haven't got a penalty. I could just run away, drop. I haven't got to do anything. Still looking positive.
I have to say it's rare to see that nowadays. It's rare to say.
Because the tactics come into it.
Always, yes. Even with one, as you said, even sometimes with one single Shido, some people just sat back and I'm leading.
Exactly, yeah.
But that one Shido is so small that it can just
evaporate
at any moment.
It happens in every sport. It's not just judo. They've seen in football, teams score a goal, that's it. 10 men behind the ball, that's it. So we're not the only sport to suffer from a defensive attitude at times when there's a big lead. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the broadcast of the first part of the day. Ma Yingnan's win over Agata Perenc in the quarterfinal of the under 52 kilo category brings the first part of the day to a close. We're going to be back at 15:30 or 3:30 for your old-fashioned people, with the final block, the repechage contests and all the medal matches. There is judo taking place in Rome. There's still a little bit of judo to go over there if you want to go over and have a look at that. But from all of the broadcast team in Oberwart, that's me and today's co-commentator Sandra Zaghetti. It's bye-bye from me.
And bye from me for now.
Okay.